Today I'm with Robert Quinn, Executive Director of Scholars at Risk, based at New York University, and we're going to talk about a very interesting topic that you might not be aware of, but it's very important for all scholars and librarians in developing countries and in developed countries. And thank you for dedicating time to this interview.
My pleasure.
So this is all very interesting, Scholars at Risk Network, and I would like to share with my colleagues, librarians around the globe, more about what is the organization, what it does, and how it operates.
Well, Scholars at Risk is an international network of universities and individuals with a two-part mission: to protect persecuted intellectuals and to promote academic freedom and university values. So the way we work on the protection side for the individuals is scholars who feel they're being threatened and unable to do their work or unsafe in their home countries can apply to us, or others can nominate them. And we will assess their cases and then seek within our network a university that will host them for a temporary visit.
And you said you work with different regions of the world?
The network is fully global. We have members in 30 countries. About 250 institutions are already members of the network. And we've worked with scholars from over 100 countries. So in over 100 countries, scholars from all different disciplines have applied to us for help because they're being persecuted for their ideas or because of who they are.
And do you also work or have any communications with UNESCO or United Nations?
In our promotion work and trying to promote greater respect for academic freedom and autonomy and university values, we do have status with UNESCO. We do work with the United Nations, as well as many international associations and non-governmental organizations, all trying with our members to promote respect for the role of the university and the role of knowledge in society.
And why would you consider important for librarians to be aware of this type of work?
Well, I think there's three reasons why librarians should be aware of what we do at Scholars at Risk. Number one is because, of course, librarians are often housed at universities or higher education institutions. And so we hope their institutions would join the network and make it stronger and build solidarity. Number two is, of course, because librarians can be scholars at risk. They can be targeted. And we have worked with librarians who have been persecuted. We worked with one librarian from a developing country. And he was targeted because the library was one of the few parts of the university that had resources. And because of that, it was a target for corruption. And he uncovered that corruption, and he brought a complaint against it. And because of that, he was targeted with violence, and he had to leave. And I'm happy to say that in our network, another university agreed to host him. And so he continues to be a librarian, and not only that, he continues to supervise the students that he left behind remotely. Number three is that even if librarians aren't personally targeted, librarians are often on the front line of pressure on ideas, on pressure on knowledge. Librarians know when books are being banned. Librarians know when authorities are trying to surveil those who are looking at certain books or certain information. So those types of pressures on ideas, even if they don't reach the level of violence on individuals, are attacks on the values that our network is designed to protect. So librarians can be invaluable help to us in making us aware of those things and helping us respond to them.
And like you said, it could be in developing countries or developed
Absolutely.
countries.
It can be anywhere in the world. Certainly here in the United States, where we're based, we know that there have been incidents over the last several years of restrictions on access to certain information or surveillance of those who are trying to get information. So it can be in any country in the world. There is this pressure on ideas, and our role together are to be advocates to promote space for free access to information, to quality ideas, and to thinking and to education.
And you have mentioned some of the things why it's so important to work in this type of area and monitor attacks on education and scholars. Would you have any other examples to further illustrate why it's so important to help scholars?
Well, we look at what's going on in the news today with the Jasmine revolutions all over the Middle East and Arab world. In each of the countries where you're seeing this uprising right now, we have been working with scholars for now more than a decade. Scholars who have been pushing ideas that you're hearing now in the streets. So the point is that people who have the courage to advance new ideas, to work for a better society, often come under pressure. And in very repressive places, that pressure can be very dangerous, can be very violent. By keeping those people alive, keeping them safe, keeping them working, we don't lose their voices, and we become reminded that there is a different path, there is a better future, one that's based not on violence, but based on ideas. So I think remembering them when we watch the news and we see what's going on, remembering behind all of those revolutions are a generation of prior thinkers, prior people who were pushing for nonviolent change.
Well, we are very glad to have made the connection with Scholars at Risk, and we hope to have some sort of work with you and the organization in the future. It seems very interesting and also at the same time helpful for many of, in our case, librarians that might need help and due to the different reasons you mentioned before. So thank you.
Well, we're delighted, and we look forward to work with the association and all of your members. Thank you.